Good morning, guys. Can you see me? Oh, yeah. I didn't know if I was on or not. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of really cool questions, and it makes me happy to get these kind of questions because I know people are starting to wake up. I don't know what took you guys so long. Did you take a sleeping pill and you just woke up to the shit show that's happening now? So the questions all pertain to where do they put their food, their extra food. Some people live in their RV. Some people live in a small travel trailer. Some have an apartment. Some have a condo. Some people have a house that's so jam packed with crapola that they can't even function. So I'm going to go over a few of the things today. And I like this kind of question. And it's freezing this morning. It was beautiful yesterday, and now it's like a 40-degree difference. And I'm just freezing. I don't know what's going on with the weather. I digress. Okay, so if you live in a house that has so much stuff in it, it's starting to go out the windows, downsize. Downsize. What are you saving it for? Just downsize. And start with a cupboard, start with a drawer. Put a bag or a box in the hallway, and if there's something you don't need, start filling that box or that bag. When that bag or that box is full, transfer it to your car so you can take it to the dump when you're out and about. We did a huge downsize load yesterday. Our son got us started in it. We have a huge, big workshop, and it was full of our son's things from when he was displaced up in Oregon. And yesterday, bright and early in the morning, he emptied it. So we have this huge shop now that's it's probably only got a quarter of what was in it before. So then that got me started in downsizing some of the rooms. Again, I thought that I had already downsized, but there's always things that we can get rid of. So let's get straight to the questions. Okay, so we have a big house, 4-bedroom house, 2-bath, and it's just the two of us inside the house. I turned one of our bedrooms, one of our extra rooms, into a pantry. Now, I picked this particular bedroom because it's in the center of the house. It's the coolest part of the house, and we have pocket doors in our house. We don't have regular doors that close. We have pocket doors that slide. So I just close each pocket door in that room, and nobody goes in there. Nobody sees it. And it's located right next to the kitchen. It's got the perfect location. Everything is perfect with this bedroom. So we repainted the bedroom. We added some stainless shelving. That was not cheap. When did stainless shelving get so expensive? Oh my gosh. So we bought 4, I think. We have 1 extra, and I laid it under a bed in case we needed it again. So I use that spare room to put all of my canned foods, my freeze dry, everything goes in that room, my extra appliances, everything, and I have it organized beautifully. And with the other bedrooms, we've turned them into guest rooms in case there's an emergency. We have places for people to sleep. But inside those rooms, we've got closets, we have pieces of furniture that the doors open up. There's always a way for you to put stuff in other rooms. So besides me telling you, I'm also going to be showing you at the end of the video. So we have an adjustable bed. The head raises up, the feet raises up. So it's kind of a platform bed. There's enough room under there. I could put Rubbermaids. And I'm not talking like, well, probably about that big. But if you don't have a lot of room, those Rubbermaids that hold like the rolls of Christmas paper, those will slide under beds beautifully, absolutely beautifully. If you have an old armoire that you're not using, that can go in a hallway, or if you already have it in a bedroom, go through that armoire. If it's full of clothing, downsize it. Maybe you don't need all that clothing. That could be an extra space to put stuff. Now, I do not recommend putting your food out in a shed. It has to be kept in a kind of a climate control. It can't be hot. Now, you can put other things out there, your extra blankets or whatever you're prepping with. That stuff can go out there. Or maybe you can even move the shed so it's not in the direct sunlight or direct heat. Gosh, it's getting windy. Oh my gosh. So you've got, bathroom cupboards. We have a huge bathroom, and in every cupboard, in every drawer, our medical preps are in there. We also have some out in a C van. We have a big C van out here, and that's full. Not full, but it has a lot of supplies that extra cots, things like that. Um, there's always a place to hide stuff up above your cupboards. I mean, up above your closet. The space that's up above your closets when your clothes are hanging. You can put all up in there. So let me show you a few ideas that we have. Now, if I'm not a prepper hoarder. Some people's whole house is just jam packed and stacked with like those canning boxes, and the jars are full. We're not like that. Um, I can for what we eat because we very seldom go to the store, and when I do, it's kind of a huge deal. But most of the food we eat, I would say 80% of the food we eat is what I prep for. And I find a lot of the food at the food bank. I get them at the discount section of the store. What we grow, what our neighbors grow, what's on our in our orchard, things like that. So I'm not a food hoarder fanatic. Um, we have the ways and the means out here for continuous food. But I know I've seen some people's house and I walk in and it's just wall to wall, floor to ceiling, cases of canned food, cases of store-bought food. And when I would look at this stuff, the cases of store-bought food like chicken broth and things like that, those are already past 10 years old. I wouldn't eat that. That's just me. I just wouldn't eat that. And this one particular person says, well, if the cans aren't ballooned, it's still safe to eat. That's debatable. So I will show you what we have done. You all do what you want in your own home. So I'm going to take you in and show you just little places you can put some food. Make a little note of it. Where certain foods are or whatever. We have a mud room that we're turning in. We're finishing our mud room, and it's so large we could put a twin bed out there. Now I didn't want any food out there before we started changing it because it was too hot, and it got down to like 16 degrees out there this winter because there's no insulation. So we're changing all that up. Hubby started it yesterday. I gutted it a few weeks ago, and now hubby started it yesterday. He's going to be putting in insulation, things like that. So it's going to be big enough for a bedroom. So I will take you through my house, show you a few things. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. Um, and but I love the questions. I think it's cool that everybody's they're complaining because they have no more room for space. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to show you um, what we have. Now, when I didn't always prep, my mother-in-law taught me how to prep. She taught me how to do coupons. I don't do coupons anymore because it's useless in California. But and I had everything in boxes. It was just in boxes. I had no organization for it. Everything was just in boxes. And she loved showing me, and I loved, learning from her. I learned a lot from her. So come on in, and I will tell you what room is what, and I will show you some things that you can maybe think about doing. And if you don't have extra pieces of furniture that has doors and stuff that open, look in those pieces of furniture. Can you get rid of anything? Do you have to have everything that you have? I mean, some of the stuff that we were throwing out yesterday, I was like, why did I save this? Why did I save this stuff? Now, a lot of the stuff that I saved was from missing family members. And that's all I'll say. Toys and things like that. They're not going to be coming back to play with the toys. So I saved a few items of each person, mark their name on the box. The rest is in my car for the Goodwill. It's all going to the Goodwill. Clothes, furniture, dishes, everything that was for little ones. That's all in my car for the Goodwill. And that not only lightened our load, it lightened my mind. because it was just something hanging on to that wasn't going to happen. So it's all gone. It's all going to be gone as of today. I'm taking it to the Goodwill today. So come with me. Let me show you some ideas. Hold on just a sec, guys. Okay, guys, so now you're in my bedroom, and this is our bed. It's on a pedestal. Let me put my sunglasses away. I don't need them in the house. Look at the space under this bed. I have a ton of space that will hold those large Rubbermaids or the tubs, and it won't even interfere with the mechanisms of the bed. So that's one spot you can put some stuff, okay? Now I have an armoire over here. Now I'm using this. I have my clothes in it, but if you have an old armoire like this, go through the clothes, see what you don't need, and this can be an extra place to hide some food. Okay, even the drawers. My bathroom is way too small. It won't hold anything, but let's go here. Now this is my hallway. This is my huge hallway. Okay, there's enough room. I could stack stuff along the walls if I wanted to, or I could put some shelving units along the wall to stack things also. But I'm not going to do that because I have more than enough room in this house. So let me show you my pantry room. This is a bedroom. So we've got the slider doors. So this is the main hub of the house. This is the room that's in the center of our house. This is very well organized. I know exactly what's in here. I know exactly where everything's at. I continually clean, check seals. I rotate the food. New food goes to the back. Oldest food goes to the front. I have a mental tally of what's in this room. I don't have the patience to sit and make a spreadsheet. I don't. I would shoot my computer. I just don't have that. I don't have that mental capacity to write everything down. I just know where it's at. And when I clean and when I rotate, I try and put it back in the same position so everybody that wants to use this pantry will know how to find stuff. Okay? So we've got a small freezer here. We've got our paper towels. And this is self-explanatory. Okay? I've got my binders. If you guys don't have binders, you need to get it together and get some binders, because if that grid goes down, for example, we were evacuated from a fire, I grabbed my binders and ran. And everything we needed was in those binders. I keep my photos on one of those little, what's it called? A little chip or whatever. I can't think of the name of it. A little USB chip. I keep my photos on that. I didn't even take photos with me because those little chips are in these binders. This is the long-term food here. All these huge bins we got at Home Depot. These are long-term food. This is food that I have freeze-dried myself. 80% of it is I freeze-dried. The rest is like Augustin Farm, things like that. Little packages. So this stuff here, we won't touch unless shit hits the fan. And all this is gone. Okay? You've got to have a plan. I have an A, B, and C with my food level of what we're going to eat. First will be this. That's A, B, and C. Okay? So we've got 3-tier food going on here. I've got everything in this room that we need. This is my appliances. I've downsized my appliances. This is appliances and all my extra supplies. Cleaning, jars, paper plates, dishwashing liquid, seals, rings, everything. Everything is in this room, okay? And I've utilized this closet. I found a real skinny dresser, and this holds all kinds of the small foods that would fall through on the shelf. And this is our drink closet. And I utilize the bins. Everything's labeled. Everybody knows where everything is at. Okay, guys, so here's a vintage stove that I collect vintage stoves. So this one was never going to work again. So we put slate on the top. I've got my prepper books, and I have things in all the cupboards. These are all utilized. Okay, here's bedroom number 2. Now we have it set up for an extra room. It's a very large room. It really is. So this is empty down here. If you have something like this, you can use it. You can fill it. You can put things under the bed. I could put things in these cupboards and this drawer if I want to. These are my cookbooks. I don't need any of this old Harley stuff. I don't need any of it. So if I needed to, I could put food in here or supplies or medical or whatever, okay? You can also put stuff on top of dressers and cabinets. I have room. I could add another shelf here. I could rearrange the beds and I could put shelves along the whole wall. So I'm not hurting for space. Now here's the cupboard, the closet. I have prep items in each of the drawers. I have tubs right in here. There's one for radiation stuff. The other one is when we lose power. I could add a lot more stuff. I'm utilizing the top. So if you have an extra closet, go through it. You don't need all that stuff. Okay? So this is one of the rooms. Now we're on to the bathroom. This is our large bathroom. It's a huge bathroom. Huge. Well, to me, it's huge. So all these drawers have medical. There's medical in every drawer. Okay, we've got it in every single drawer is the medical. Now in these cupboards here is the extra blankets, extra pillows. And it's full to the top with extra blankets and pillows. Okay? So I've got this bathroom very well used for space. Okay, so I'm coming through the circle here, guys. I'm going to show you the mud room we're working on. Here's the mud room. It's pretty big. So what our plan is with the mud room, we're going to put insulation in the floor, or we have to go under the house, put it in the floor. This is basically our laundry room. Get back. So we're going to be putting insulation in here. Hubby started this yesterday. We're putting in new lighting. This is the original back side of our house. This isn't going anywhere. So we've got another freezer out here that's almost full. And he built me this platform to hold my washer and dryer up off the ground. And now that gives me all kinds of space. Now it's not very neat out here because this is a room. It's a work in progress. So it's kind of a hodgepodge right now. But once this is finished, I'm going to have baskets and everything's going to be marked. Plus, I can set things on top of the washer dryer. Okay? One thing we are doing, we're putting in propane hot water. So it's going to be going in this area, but this is all going to be insulation. This is our freezer. You can stack stuff on top of your freezer. You can hang things for we recycle cans. This is our umbrellas and all that. So you can hang things. You just have to look around. I mean, if you have no space, you're collecting too much stuff. You have too much stuff that needs to go, probably. So this is the mudroom that we're working on. This, I cannot wait to finish. Okay, so let's come in. So there was the bathroom, and our house is kind of a circle. This is an extra room here that has all kinds of stuff in it that was out in the mudroom. But this is an extra bedroom, and it has our freeze dryer in it. So there's the pantry. Coming in now to the kitchen. Now I only have these cupboards in the kitchen. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 5 or something. This is all the cupboard space I have. And all in the top is empty. All empty. I have downsized so much, my house echoes. But I don't need enough dishes to feed the queen. I don't need that. So we put the dishwasher in the wall. So that's up off the floor and it's perfect for my back. This drawer here is all of my pots and pans. So we have a lot of extra space in the kitchen if I needed it. Okay? Here's another old stove that I collect. I've made it into our coffee and tea section. But basically, if I needed more space, I could put more shelving units and things like that in here. Here's a big empty space here. I could put something else. You know, if I needed space for food, which I don't. We got the fire going this morning because it's freezing. So, I also have this cabinet over here that the TV is sitting on. There's nothing in the cabinet. Both sides are empty. If you have a situation like that, you can hide stuff in there. My best advice for you is to downsize first, see what you don't need, and see how much extra space you will be getting when you downsize. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, they have their family items that were handed down to them. I do too. I just pick and choose what I keep. I don't keep stuff. Now, my mother-in-law had a full, complete 2-story house jam-packed in every room. I only kept the stuff that was hers as a child, which wasn't very much. I did not keep the stuff that she found at yard sales or that she collected because it meant nothing to me. The things that meant something to me were the things that belonged to my parent or my in-laws that they had as a child. That's what I kept. Everything else we got rid of. Okay? So don't get me wrong, I do have things that I collect. I collect my Papagao baskets and things like that. So don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to get rid of every single thing you own. I'm just telling you, pick what goes after your heartstrings. Don't keep everything because it was my mother's or because it was my grandmother's. That's not a reason to keep it. Okay? So there's a little cupboard here. They sell these at Hobby Lobby. If you don't have a lot of space, you can get one of these and set it in any room. Set it in the hallway, set it in the kitchen. That can hold some of your supplies too. Okay? So we're back to my room. Now, if I wanted to add more space, I have all this here. I can just put in all kinds of shelving units here and fill that up. But like I said, I don't need any of that because we have this big center bedroom. Now, when we lived in our motorhome, my motorhome had a lot of cubbies outside underneath. It was full, and inside was full. And the seats lifted up, and the bed lifted up. And that's probably the reason we didn't get good gas mileage, because I was hauling around all of our pantry supplies, all of our prepping supplies. But if you happen to have an extra bedroom, you can turn it into this. I'm very proud of this. It won't happen overnight, guys. It really won't. But, you know, even if you just have room for a little piece of furniture like this, or this piece of furniture. This is small. If you have room for anything like that, you have room to add more supplies. Okay? But take my advice. Do not put things in your shed. Do not put food in an outside shed. It has to be kept at a certain constant temperature. So, if, for an example, if you live in an apartment and you have a small balcony, maybe get one of those little Rubbermaid sheds, and that can hold your I don't know, whatever you are whatever you're trying to stock up on, maybe that'll hold it, something a little small. They're thin, they're real tall. Put some stuff out there. Keep things in boxes, keep things in Rubbermaids. That adds a little bit more security so mice and things like that don't get into it. If you have, for example, if you've been storing up on flour and grains and things like that, and you have bugs, keep them in Rubbermaids. Now, another thing that brings in a lot of moth is if you store like nuts, pecans, almonds, things like that. All that stuff I keep in the freezer because when you keep those for quite a while, you're going to get some bugs. So anyway, that was it. I hope I gave you some ideas, and have a cool day. Watch your back and protect your family, guys. God bless.